Trump is firing back against critics who compare what he does at his campaign rallies to the Nazi salute. The Republican frontrunner asks his supporters to raise their right hand to pledge loyalty to him. Have a look at what we're talking about.
I do solemnly swear that I, no matter how I feel, no matter what the conditions, if there's hurricanes or whatever, that's good enough, will vote on or before the 12th for Donald J. Trump for president.
Trump called the comparison to the Nazi salute ridiculous. He told NBC he didn't intend to offend anyone with the gesture.
Sometimes we'll do it for fun, and they'll start screaming at me, "Do the swearing, do the swearing." I mean, they're having such a great time. They're massive crowds. I get, by far the biggest crowds, and we're having a good time. Honestly, until this phone call, I didn't know it was a problem. I'll certainly look into it. I mean, I'd like to find out that that's true, but I would certainly look in because I don't want to offend anybody. But I can tell you that it's been amazingly received.
Well, joining me now is CNN politics senior correspondent Chris Moody with us from CNN Washington. Chris, Trump today, so many topics, so little time. Today, as you heard, he responded to the Hitler comparisons. What should we make of that?
I don't think we should make very much. It seems to be a real red herring, something that, started on social media. And you could tell by the content of such an oath when he mentions the hurricanes that it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. It kind of reminds me more of Hedley Lamar and Blazing Saddles than it does anything else. However, it does stem from something, these kind of concerns, because of his rhetoric in the past, because he has attracted a certain amount of unsavory type of supporters that might espouse beliefs that harken back to World War II. That is why this is coming out and becoming an issue. But I just want to say that I think this specific thing about the oaths is something that has just been trumped up, especially on social media, and probably wouldn't even be an issue a couple of years ago when we didn't have access to Twitter and Facebook and being able to spread photos around this quickly and make our commentary on them.
Trumped up, a good way to put it. And looking at Marco Rubio's future and reports about his staffers wanting him to drop out before Florida, there is also a major newspaper in Florida that is not even endorsing their home state candidate. In fact, they've criticized him. Does he really stand a chance in his home state?
Well, we cannot underplay the importance of Florida for Marco Rubio. He must win in Florida. He's the senator from there, and that will allow him to go on. But this is very interesting. If he goes on, that actually benefits the other candidates not named Trump because it keeps the delegate number down for Donald Trump. Florida and Ohio are winner-take-all states. You get all those delegates, and there are a ton in those big states. So for people who don't like Trump, they need to actually hope that Marco Rubio wins, and John Kasich, who's the governor of Ohio, that he wins there. Otherwise, it's looking very good for Donald Trump. But again, if Rubio loses Florida, the race will slim down quite a bit.
And just finally looking at the Democrats today, obviously Michigan is a very important state for both Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. Why in particular is it so important for Bernie?
Well, if you look at the map, Hillary Clinton has done incredibly well in the South, especially with large African-American communities and voters. And Bernie Sanders' campaign has said, okay, she can do well there. Well, we can do pretty well in the North, in the central part of the United States. So this is a huge test for Bernie Sanders to see if he can actually win something that he said he can for a long time. If he doesn't do well, if Hillary Clinton beats him there, she'll be able to say, look, I can win in the South and I can win in the North. I'm a national candidate, and maybe call for Bernie to get out. However, Bernie has a lot of money and still quite a bit of delegate support, so he can remain a thorn in her side for quite a while. I don't think you should expect this Democratic race to end anytime soon either.
All right, Chris Moody, great to have you with us live from Washington. Thank you.
Thank you.
And stay with CNN for all your political coverage. It starts later today with results from 4 state contests in Hawaii, Idaho, Mississippi and Michigan. Again, that's throughout the day and right into the night here on CNN.